Look, we all know that the golden age of baseball movies was the 90s. You got your Sandlots, you got your Little Big Leagues, your Rookies of the Year, your Angels in the Outfield. I'm not arguing that that's not a powerful 1 through 4, it definitely is. But none of those movies have the character development, the stakes, the cast, the soundtrack, and perhaps the first scene that made most of us cry real tears. Hardball is that movie. The best baseball movie ever made. What's up, guys? I'm Rudy, and no ball in the house. Oh no! First off, this movie is produced by Mike Tollin and Brian Robbins, two of the best sports movie minds of this time. They started out with Nickelodeon, all that, before they gave us Varsity Blues, Coach Carter, Summer Catch, and more recently, Tollin has been behind a handful of sports documentaries, including The Last Dance. I saw this movie in theaters 24 years ago. Yeah, I'm old. And I definitely did not expect the ending. So if you haven't seen this movie, there are spoilers in this video. You should go watch the movie, then come back, and we'll break it down. So we start out with Keanu Reeves, who, I don't think was taken super seriously as an actor in 2001 around this time.
I know Kung Fu.
For the last time, no you don't.
He plays Connor O'Neill, who, in the first 20 minutes of the movie, we learn is like a low-life piece of shit. He lives in a crappy apartment in Chicago, gets by on his gambling winnings, but also never wins, so people are constantly beating him up because he owes them money. This movie is really the story of Connor becoming less of a piece of shit, then more of a piece of shit, then less of a piece of shit again. He makes a deal with a bookie called The Barber to pay him $750 a week until his debt is paid off fully. Obviously, Connor doesn't have this money, so he goes to his rich friend, and you know he's rich because he can afford the hair product, and he doesn't waste his time with belts. This guy says he'll pay him $500 a week to coach a baseball team. So this is where we find out that even though Connor lives like a pretty miserable life himself, he still prefers it to the lives of people living in the housing projects where this first baseball practice is. Connor has no choice, and away we go. So yes, race is a key theme of this movie, and let's just talk about it now. Relax, we don't have to get into DEI or BLM, but we do have to get into MLB around this time. See what I did there? The thing those 90s movies did extremely well was make baseball fun, relatable, and marketable for kids. But mostly white kids, if we're being honest. So baseball needed to be inclusive, and for 2001, it needed to be cool. Even the fun of baseball in these other movies was still rooted in organ music and Peanuts and Cracker Jack and pinstripes. In 2001, you have a Billboard chart dominated by Nelly, Ja Rule, Eve, Mary J. Blige, and Jay-Z. NFL was being led by stars like Marshall Faulk, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss. The NBA was arguably at peak culture shift. You have Iverson, Shaq, Kobe, Vince Carter, stars of the league. And it's easy to see that the hip-hop culture was dictating the style and attitude of the league. So now back to baseball. This story is actually based on a book called Hardball, A Season in the Projects, published in 1994. Even in the 7 years between the release of this book to the release of the movie, the culture of the MLB had changed dramatically. In 1994, there was a strike-shortened season. Then in 1998, any Cubs or Cardinals game was national must-see TV because of McGwire and Sosa's home run race. You could not ask for more from the fans glued to the sport. And America's pastime was about to endure another historic moment because elephant in the room,
9/11.
If you know any avid sports movie lovers who haven't seen this movie, Hardball, it may be because it was released on September 14th, 2001. Just to tap into where pop culture was at that exact moment, I want to show you this all-star tribute remix to Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this, nigga? This is ridiculous. I don't want to dance, I'm scared to death.
This was originally made to benefit AIDS programs in Africa, but when 9/11 happened, I guess they thought, oh, we have a problem here too. Hey, no, get out of here. Back to the movie. Cue the first banger track of this soundtrack. So we see a montage of a very disorganized practice in the Southside Chicago projects, when that rich guy pulls up in a BMW and hands the reins and Jefferson Albert Tibbs' sugar babies over to Connor. Now we meet the team one by one. So you can see the headbands, FUBU shirts, those like around the back of the head headphones. Oh, those headphones. I love those headphones. Except if you would like lean against the back of your chair in the car on a plane, it would like push them forward and off your ears. We struggled before AirPods, okay, kids? Oh yeah, that's Michael B. Jordan, who you may know from Being Famous Now and being objectified by Nicki Minaj.
And shout out to Donatella Versace for custom making this outfit for me. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan because he's going to be taking it off of me tonight.
There's a whole love interest storyline with Keanu and Diane Lane, but it doesn't really affect the baseball narrative of the story, so we can leave it alone. So practice ends, the kids go home, you can kind of get the sense of how dangerous the area they live in is.
Wow. 9mm.
Before the first game, we get another banger of a track.
Have you ever in your whole life seen the things that I sing or live the life? People don't know what I go through or imagine what it's like growing up in the hood.
And we meet Ray Ray and brothers Kofi and G-Baby, three of the best casted players. Connor passively runs a terrible practice, and Jefferson Albert Tibbs tries to get him to end practice early so the kids can get home before dark. But Connor needs to keep it running because he's waiting for his equally piece of shit friend, perhaps more, Tiki. Give it. I don't know anyone who knows anyone named Tiki. What is Tiki?
Damn, you got Zachley's breath. Zachley's breath. Your breath smells exactly like your ass.
So practice ends late. JAT, we'll call him JAT, Jefferson Albert Tibbs, walks home into a very dark, populated area full of gangs, drugs, and violence. Eventually, he gets jumped by the Banditos, and we get a sense of the struggles these kids are facing just being at home. JAT ends up in the hospital, and Connor, for the first time, has to face the consequences of his decisions and the reality that he can control his actions while people right there in his same community have it much harder. JAT says to him,
"You're never going to stay being our coach."
Which shows you how little hope these kids have in someone that's pretending to be close to them. Those kids have probably all lost someone close to them at some point, and JAT saying this just kills any expectation that they have of Connor to step up to the plate.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
In the midst of the baseball season, Connor pursues clearing his gambling debt. This is one of those things where I watch and I think how cell phones have like ruined movies, because it's way less visual and dramatic to watch Keanu Reeves like sweat out a DraftKings parlay on his phone. On the field, G-Baby provides a recap of an on-field scuffle.
What's going on?
All right, let me break it down to you right quick. Andre say he catch any apple ball, anybody can throw. Coffee say that's bullshit, you a buster. Andre say roll up, bitch. Coffee say I'll give you all my gun if you catch this ball. He threw the ball. Andre caught it. Andre say pay me my money. Coffee say you a cheating bitch. No way. Coffee say you a motherfucker.
Okay, I got it.
Maybe I should have had him write this script. We have some pretty funny dialogue, definitely not present in other kids' movies.
Damn, man, suck. Just like my girlfriend.
Connor finally pulls rank and holds the kids accountable, institutes some rules, and pops Michael B. Jordan on the noggin.
Got it. All right. Where do you say, hey, Jamal?
It's cool, Jamal, man. Don't worry about it.
I've seen him take worse hits.
And action.
According to the internet, every team is named for an African tribe. So we're the Kikumbas playing the Watas, and this kid on the Watas is dealing to a song made for this movie called, obviously, Hardball. And this song is actually really good.
Cause I don't lose too much. Matter of fact, I ain't never lost at all when I'm playing hardball. Right. So if you on the mound, about to pitch to me, understand, I'm like Griffey, I keep him to the wall. Caught you by surprise. Right before your eyes. Strike three. Ooh, I got you out. Without a doubt, I got you out.
It pulls together the kid rappers of this time, who are probably about the age of the kids on the team. Sammy is on the chorus. He was a singer. He had a song called I Like It. You got Lil Bow Wow on the first verse, who was enormous at the time. We're probably like a year away from Like Mike being released. Lil Bow Wow's a star. Lil Zane is on this as well, don't know much about him. And even though his verse is not included in the movie, a 19-year-old Lil Wayne is on the last verse. First game, we learn that the Cucumbas are not a sound fundamental team and spend more time fighting each other than the other team. So the Cucumbas get killed, but we have to talk about the coach of the Watas. So this guy's name is Mark Robert Ellis. If he looks familiar, it's because he's been in a zillion sports movies. Ellis has been credited as a sports coordinator, like basketball coordinator, football coordinator, whatever the movie's about. I really don't know exactly what this means, but I assume it's the guy who makes sure the script follows the rules of the sport. Like, people playing the sport actually look like they know what they're doing, and everything just like looks right. Either way, seems like an awesome job, and it looks like they throw him into the movie every so often, give him a line or two. If we ever do a No Ball in the House podcast, Mark Ellis is a wish list guest. After the game, the squad goes for pizza,
I'm down with that shit, my brother.
where we tab Miles as the next pitcher in the rotation and coin the phrase,
We going to the ship, what? We going to the ship, what? We going to the ship.
After pizza, Connor drives Andre home in the car he was given by that rich guy to make sure all the kids get home safely. Andre invites him in, and we watch as Connor learns the reality of these kids' lives at home.
Everyone's sitting on the floor.
Stay below the window.
What?
Bullets.
And really find the true heart of the movie here.
What do you do around here for fun?
Play baseball with you.
In the next game, the Cucumbas get on the board to a montage of Where the Party At by Jagged Edge, another absolute smash back then, and it still holds up. I love these shots too. It's like low angle into your living room. Very cool. So bottom two, Miles on the bump. This is an iconic moment too. Miles throws gas. G-Baby tells us how Miles stays so locked in, and in doing so adds another legendary track to this soundtrack.
What's he listening to?
Same song over and over.
What is it?
Big Papa and Notorious B.I.G.
How's it go?
I love it when you call me Big Papa. He waves his hands in the air. If you're a true player, I'll see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Baby.
I love G-Baby's face right here. He's like, I'm 9 years old. Why do I gotta be the one educating you white people? So since no bookie will take bets from Connor because he sucks at gambling, he finds a new bookie who will take a large bet. He goes home that night, the barber hunts him down because he missed some payments. Connor gets back home safe and places a $12,000 bet on the Bulls, which, if he wins, would resolve all his gambling debt. Next game, the league president and one of the coaches tells the Cucumbas that Jamal forged his birth certificate and is too old to play. I like this dialogue here.
What are you guys? The cops?
What's the point of the league, Coach? Teach kids it's okay to lie as long as they can get away with it?
It should be about these kids playing ball, not the trophy you bring to work.
We're finally starting to see Connor relate to his team, being someone people dismiss, being someone people think isn't enough, not being able to get ahead no matter what. Now, he's finally part of something with other people instead of flying on his own day after day. Or worse, with Tiki. We never hear anything about Connor's family in this movie, so I have to feel like he's finding family with the team and the parents too. And now he has to kick Jamal off the team, off the family. Oh, Michael be okay. Later in the game, Miles is shutting down the boo-wahs and the other coach wants the headphones off. Look at this coach. Amazing casting. This coach is giving real tell on me for having 13 items in a 12 items or less line energy. He probably owns so many baggy pleated khakis. God, I hate him. I want to punch him in the face so bad. So Connor asks these guys to give his team an explanation.
I want you guys to explain to them why they lost Jamal. And why Miles can't wear headphones. And why the Boo-Wahs and the Watas have nice uniforms and we have shitty t-shirts. Cucumbas. This is the president. And that is the coach of the goofiest team in the league. And they kicked Jamal off the team because he was born 2 weeks early.
What?
And now they're making Miles take his headphones off Because he's pitching too good.
That's some weak ass bullshit, you bitch ass motherfucking busters. Tell him that, boy.
What did you say?
I believe he said that is some weak ass bullshit. Was that it, G-Baby?
Yeah, that's it.
Then Miles lets up a bomb to a kid wearing glasses, and for some reason, Connor quits the team, just like Jefferson Albert Tibbs said he would. Connor watches that Bulls game from outside the bar as he wins his bet on a buzzer beater, and he goes into the bar singing a song he only knows because of the baseball team he just quit.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
So, still a piece of shit if you ask me. Connor and Tiki toy with the idea of taking the money they just won and continuing to gamble with it, even though they're obviously so bad at gambling. Later, Connor goes back to the baseball field to drop off the equipment and has a change of heart. He tells Tiki he's done gambling. He decides to take a bunch of the money he won and buy the entire Cucumbas team tickets to the Cubs-White Sox game, because none of them had ever been to an MLB park before. They get to the stadium, which doesn't look like Wrigley or Comiskey at all, and then the kids start yelling for Sammy Sosa at a player who doesn't look like Sammy Sosa at all. To be fair, nobody looks like Sammy Sosa today at all. Then JAT sees the actual Sammy Sosa, and we get a very well lit, very no Cubs or MLB logos anywhere to be seen shot of Sammy Sosa, definitely shot at the same time as filming this scene with the kids. The Cucumbas watch the game wide-eyed, and we all feel really good. So the Cucumbas go on a streak, they win a bunch of games, they get to the top of their league. We're now at the semifinal game against the Buas and that fuckhead coach. Winner goes to the ship. Cucumbas get brand new jerseys before the game. They should sell these, man. Cubs or White Sox, I have an idea. You do a hardball night. You invite the whole cast to your stadium, bring them on the field, first pitch, wave to everyone. You could give away or sell Cucumbas jerseys, G-Baby bobbleheads, sugar babies. People would love it. The team starts to change into their new uniforms, and we get my favorite line in the whole movie.
There's no more shirts in the box.
Nope.
Wait for it.
G-Baby.
No other baseball movie will offer you a montage of at-bats to DMX. I'm sorry, it doesn't exist. And not only a baseball montage of great plays, but a montage with a sequence of Jefferson Albert Tibbs fighting off foul balls to eventually put the ball in play. But also, do you know how hard it is to shoot a sequence like this when you're looking for specifically foul balls? It is so hard to hit a foul ball back like that on purpose, so appreciate that too. They put Miles in the game to keep it tied. He's hesitant at first to pitch to that glasses kid who took him yard last game. Then he gets the whole park to sing Big Papa for him to keep him in rhythm, and he punches him out. Alright, bottom of the inning, tie game. We got the winning run on second. Press pause here. Remember when we talked about making baseball cool and how big of a goal that is for this movie? There's one thing in the last 10 years, if you can think about it, that has really made baseball cool. And you're going to see it in this movie right here in 2001, remember. Alright, go ahead, Kofi. Bat flip. A bat flip in 2001. You thought Joey Bats invented the bat flip in 2015. No, sir. Ricky Henderson was doing this in 74. Jimmy Rollins was doing it in 2001. Wait, Steve Klein got mad at him for that? That's like barely a bat flip. That's like mostly gravity. I just think it's very cool to see in this 2001 movie a move that in the MLB is like the only thing that gives you style points now. In a movie that was trying to make baseball cool, they knew to include that. Unfortunately, Kofi does bat flip on a sac fly, but we got the winning run on third. Jefferson Albert Tibbs spot in the lineup, but he's too winded from playing first base to hit. Okay, let's be nice to JAT, come on. G-Baby grabs a bat, and then we fade to black. Next, we see Kofi and G-Baby getting dropped off at home after the game. Some gang members are blocking the entrance to their building, and we see one is Jamal. Kofi and G-Baby look for another way into the building, and get caught in a very close proximity to a shootout. When the dust clears, we see Kofi's okay, but in the saddest camera movement in cinematic history, we see a bloody wound where a bullet pierced G-Baby's jersey right over his heart. G is gone. Heartbreaking. At G's funeral, Connor speaks. He talks about how G-Baby delivered the game-winning hit in that game, and we see the full transformation of Connor into someone who has been changed for the better by this season and these kids. Very corny eulogy, kinda beautiful, it might get you. After the service, the kids tell Connor they want to finish the season for G-Baby.
We want to play, bitch.
Kofi shows up to play in the championship game, and everyone wears armbands honoring G, not crying. Right before credits, we see that the Cucumbas have won the ship. The whole team has trophies. Kofi has 2. The movie wraps up, but not before one more fantastic song, The Storm Is Over by R. Kelly. And yes, would it be so easy to make a joke about R. Kelly here? Yeah, would it be so easy to compare the rain of the storm in this song to perhaps another bodily liquid commonly associated with R. Kelly? Yes, do we do that on this channel?
That's my Robert. Always being on people. Don't forget a hair, Robert. Yes, grandmother.
So we start this movie watching Connor literally hedge all his bets on sports teams he has no control over. He barely earns a day-to-day living based on what professional athletes, guys who don't know him and he'll never meet, do in a game. In this moment after G-Baby walks it off, that he talks about at the funeral, we see Connor actually win with a team he's part of. And that's the core of what makes this the best baseball movie. Baseball movies should promote the sport. It should make people want to play it or watch it. This movie shows what the journey of being part of a team can do for a person and a community. It shows that it is actually a cool sport, no matter how white it will always be, and it shows that it is perfectly acceptable for an adult male to trade basketball tickets for pizza.
I'll give you 2 low seats for the Bulls Mavericks on Sunday.
For the pizza.
For the pizza.
Done deal.
But did it work? Did Major League Baseball allow hip-hop culture to collaborate with America's pastime in an organic, authentic way? Well, let's just ask 2 MVPs.
Take me out to the ball game. Biggie ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Crowd.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you want to see me talk about. Tell me what you don't like. I know you need encouragement to do that. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to break the rules.